Hey everybody, thanks for playing World of Tanks. Thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video. With this channel I do like to talk about team play. I also do like to talk about improving our play at least a little bit more and more over time. Alright, so here I am in the Defender, and with this video I am going to talk about when it's okay to not push, or when it's okay to kind of maybe sit toward the back. We see a lot of our team is going more or less straight east along the south. We will see one or two heavy tanks move in toward the middle, and we'll eventually see a light tank move into the middle. I'm over here kind of staying in the west with two tier 10 heavies in front of me, the IS-7 right there, and the other one is the Object 279E, I believe it is. Kind of a saucer looking heavy tank premium. There it is, 279E, that's the one. Alright. Alright, so we see here we do have some enemies pushing pretty quickly toward our position in the north part of the map, right on that IS-7. We're going to see that IS-7 is going to play a heck of a game, holding that point position and doing so more or less safely, and also ultimately dealing quite a bit of damage to the enemy vehicles that come at the position of the IS-7. We do see a lot of enemy vehicles up in the north, kind of moving slowly, at least toward the west. So we do know that we are effectively outmanned, at least in terms of numbers, and outgunned. Again, just in terms of numbers of guns and overall firepower and things. So we're not in a position to be really aggressive. We're not in a position to charge into those enemy positions in kind of the north central part of the map there. We would, just sort of move up there and just get shot by multiple guns at one time, and there's not really a faster way of losing your hit points short of driving over the edge of a cliff or drowning. So that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to drive into fortified enemy positions full of enemy numbers and let those enemy numbers have shots at us. Instead, we're going to hold back. We're going to stay covered, stay protected, using hard cover, and we're going to kind of support one another. We're going to focus our fire, and we'll see what happens. We did have one heavy tank and one enemy light tank move basically straight toward the enemy spawn, straight up the middle of the map, and they've been eliminated pretty quickly. At this point, again, we are holding our positions safely. I'm focusing my fire on those enemies that are threatening my IS-7 ally. And I'm sure that IS-7 ally of mine is taking those shots that are available to him. And again, the reasons why it's okay for the three of us here in the west to not push north or not push east, well, for one thing, is because the enemy vehicles are coming at us to give us shots. So we're definitely contributing to our team. In fact, the enemy team seems to have pretty evenly split into the north and the south, and our team did not. Our team sent the bulk of our numbers, at least the bulk of our numbers ended up going into the south, and so those of us fighting the enemies in the north are definitely outnumbered. And so again, it's just important that we give ourselves whatever time that we need to be effective in fighting off these enemy vehicles. And maybe that's ultimately just going to be slowing them down. That might be the best we can hope for if the enemies in the north turn out to be really effective at working together, using their numbers, using their guns, using their armor and hit points in such a way that it just kind of overwhelms us. Might be the case. The best we can hope for is to slow them down. If that turned out to have been the case, that they were very effective in working together, it would have been best for us to have fallen back as much as we needed to, certainly just kind of hold our positions without going forward, because going forward would have kind of bought into the enemy team's efforts at pushing at us. Now here, this is going to be an example, as we see, of poor gun management here. I should have been looking more at the E100 in there. I'm not even aiming for a while after I had line of fire. And right here is going to be much better gun management, anticipating the possibility of that 60 TP coming to the right side of that rock in front of me. As it was, those enemy vehicles up in the north, even though they had the numbers over the three of us, they didn't really manage their numbers all that well, I'm going to argue. Anytime you do have a numbers advantage, it's almost always the case that you quote-unquote should win that fight. Now maybe it's the case that it's 5 tier 8s up against 3 tier 10 heavies or something. That's a little bit of a different story. That's a little bit more of a difficult scenario to manage, but nevertheless, it's without some kind of unbalanced situation like that, it's pretty much always the case that numbers should win out. So in that situation, it was not only okay or acceptable that the three of us kind of moved away from spawn just a little bit, positioned up into safe spots with cover, and then just kind of worked together on focusing our fire on the enemies. Not only was that okay or acceptable, that turned out to have been actually a pretty important part of our team's success in winning this match, as we were faced with superior numbers up there in the north, giving our teammates in the south an opportunity to kind of do their thing with the numbers that they had available to them. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what you see here in the comments. Maybe there's something about this match that I missed or didn't say quite right. Thanks for taking a look at this World of Tanks video. Thanks for playing World of Tanks.